It's your buddy, Mike Messier. I'm about to exit this door. Hopefully, it's not a fire. Nope, wasn't a fire door. You always get that nervousness when you open a door like that. You think it might be a fire alarm, but it's not. As you can see, I'm breathing the cold air. We're outside in the wonderment that is New England. A little bit of a frost has developed on these streets. I don't know if you can see it properly, but that is snow. Ice and snow and all that good shit. It's January, I guess it's January 22, meaning the 22nd, as some might say. That's the car. We're going to go inside the car and warm up our little souls. Thanks for tuning in. As you know, this video should be properly labeled Raw Protest. Tonight was a Monday night, Martin Luther King Day. I went to see a film. I didn't really think about it at the time. The Beale Street film. I'm trying to say the title of the film properly. Beale Street was in the title. But this is not a film review. This is I did not watch Raw, once again, commentary. And I did check my Twitter just now. I saw my buddy Joe Cronin chimed in with kind of a Sasha Banks, I guess a GIF or a video someone captured on Raw that Sasha Banks was waiting for the tag. And I guess you could, jokingly say a hot tag because Sasha was kind of jumping up and down the apron and someone admired that for obvious reasons. Hey, look, if you're watching WWE Raw tonight, I hope that you got some enjoyment out of it. But from what I saw from a few people that chimed in on Twitter, they did not enjoy Raw once again. And I think it's just a thing where WWE is trying to train us, although I haven't watched Raw regularly since October 1st when Raw Protest began, hashtag Raw Protest. If you're watching Raw tonight, if you watched Raw and you were disappointed, at this point, folks, you have no one to blame but yourselves. We just have to get over this. We have to stop thinking that this is 1998, 99, even 2003, or whatever year that you enjoyed Raw. You could say that even the CM Punk Summer of Punk was exciting. Some of the Shield stuff. But Raw has gone to the point as this statement that Monday Night Wrestling is really dead. WWE, it's just become this. Raw is about as boring as 1995 Saturday morning WWF wrestling was, okay? We've just got to learn that we have to give up the ghost of Monday night WWE presentation. Oh, did I look? God damn it.
Here. Okay, we're still here, folks. If you lost me for a moment, we're back. But anyway, look, WWE Monday Night Raw is not a show worth watching. We've examined that. We've discussed that. Some of you are holding on, and many of you are holding on. But the people that I'm addressing are really the people at this point that should know better but don't. Either they have a podcast or they like to feel like part of a community of wrestling fans, and they feel that this weekly Monday Night Raw is the conversation that you have to be in on. Well, why is that? We can talk about other things with wrestling, and I will. I've been watching, as some of you know, World Class Championship Wrestling 1982, Kabuki, Gary Hart, Al Madrill, Bill Irwin, Kevin Von Erich. I saw the origins of the fucking penalty box match, folks. If you've never seen a penalty box match, that's one thing WWF has never done, or WWE, is a penalty box match. And I saw the first ever penalty box match. There was one episode of World Class Championship Wrestling that went from a Gary Hart coming off the fucking airplane to Bugsy McGraw on a water slide to referee David Manning introducing the penalty box match. That was just a Saturday morning television show or Friday night television. However, the people in Texas got to see this stuff. I'm also watching the first year of TNA wrestling. Some of you have chimed in about that. One of the good Twitter guys chimed in, and he's also enjoying the first year of TNA. I'm watching Ken Shamrock defend the title. Raw and the Truth Killings, or K-Quick or whatever you want to call him, R-Truth. I mean, what a great personality this guy had, and you see it's been kind of squashed and squandered by his tap dancing or whatever you want to call it in WWE. This guy really had a great career ahead of him, and now he's doing dance breaks with Carmella. People are getting all hot and bothered or excited about the revival, and possibly the guy that played my brother in the film The Manor, Mike Kanellis, and Maria Kanellis, who's really a great woman, possibly leaving WWE, and people don't know what that's going on with that. Look, all I can say, folks, is for the talent who's been misused or not used by WWE, why shouldn't they leave? I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, and people say, well, the money. Yes, that's true. But at some point, folks, we all have one life to live. And if you're going to be enslaved to the money, you got to enjoy your life. I think I can't tell these wrestlers what to do. They're going to do what they want to do. But, I mean, if you're the Revival and you're getting jobbed every night and occasionally you get to beat Roman Reigns at a 2-on-1 match, you got to feel kind of miserable about yourself. That's not why they started wrestling. Dolph Ziggler, or whatever his name is, Ken, apparently he's considering leaving, and it's kind of looking that he's going to. And why would they even want to keep him? I mean, the guy's had a job to John Cena and everybody else for 10 or 15 years. Why would they want to keep him so bad? Obviously, the answer, and the same reason why WWE wanted the Young Bucks, is because they don't want anyone else to have him. So I think people are finally getting the fucking point. A year and a half into my videos here, and I remember the first video I ever did. It's the Big Show video, which I addressed the fucking cult of kayfabe fucks who kicked me out of their little boys club. But I basically said that they ruined the Big Show's career, and some people at the time didn't want to buy it. What's interesting to me is that so many WWE fans will complain about WWE to its core, but still watch every week. That's nihilist behavior. That's you're just killing yourselves, okay? People have been asking me a couple of times, Mike, what do you think of JD from New York? I like his rants. I think he's probably a cool guy. But I can see, I feel empathy or sympathy or both for this guy because he's killing himself. And he might be making dollars or dimes or $20 or whatever off the whatever he's doing off YouTube hits or whatever. But to me, it's like at some point you've got to put happiness and sanity over being a goddamn wrestling fan who's pissed at WWE. As far as All Elite or other promotions go, I hope that All Elite does well. I'm just starting to fear a little bit. It's feeling a little too open-ended, like it's just going to be another fucking promotion, another indie promotion. I'd like them to really consider themselves premier and not just show up at backyard shows. Maybe that's the aesthetic these days, and I'm not trying to insult the bar wrestling group or anybody, but when they just they've got to put themselves on a premium, and if they just want to be friendly with everybody, that's not how you do business, in my opinion, and maybe I'm just from a different mode of thinking, but I'd like to see them be a little more elite. I mean, just be what you say you are. If you're elite, then you're elite. You don't go pawning off your talent to other things, but maybe that's their deal. Maybe I'm just fucking out of the loop or the mindset. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that it's starting to feel, and there hasn't been one show yet. Their show's not till May. It's just starting to feel indie-rific and, diminished, unfucking whatever the word is, undistinguishable from other indie promotions. And I think that's something that in the early days, Ring of Honor and TNA actually had that, believe it or not. Obviously, TNA had a jump start on weekly pay-per-view. Ring of Honor was doing a lot of stuff in Philadelphia and up and down the East Coast a little bit, but mostly Philadelphia. And really, I think TNA was the one that put a thing out that said, hey, if you're with us, you're with us. And they didn't want TNA wrestlers to wrestle in Ring of Honor anymore. I think that was 2003 or 4. Any fucking goddamn way. Have I been watching other wrestling? Mostly the TNA tapes, mostly the world-class stuff. I'm trying to think what else I watched I can tell you about of interest. And was there some big crazy news that anyone? Mean Gene Okerlund passed away. I did do a video. I'm still not satisfied with my video about Mean Gene dying. I don't think I gave him a good tribute. I was really just starting my day that day. I found out I wanted to make a quick video, and of course I talked, and I haven't really put on a suit and a tie to do the proper Mean Gene, but people are still kind of talking about that. I still listen to 83 Weeks. I still listen to Something to Wrestle. I listened to Jericho's entire deal about his thoughts on going to All Elite, signing the All Elite contract. It's a good listen. And ultimately, good for Jericho. At 48 years old, he's going to do what's best for himself. And how can you hold that against a guy? Jericho is just saying, like, look, I know what I said. I never worked for a U.S. promotion other than WWE. This is Jericho. But times changed, and my opinion changed. And, no one's got a stack of Bibles to his hand. And he's doing what's best for him in his fucking pocketbook. So good for him, or his wallet. What else? I still say that the WWE manipulates their social media. You really can't buy into the social media of the WWE talent. Trust me, it's if you just look at the way they write their tweets, the constant proper spelling of everything, how they hashtag feuds, and how the talent that's not on television or trying to get over, it's just manipulated. You don't have to be a fucking rocket science to figure that out, but some people want to believe, so let them believe. Do I have other really big jarring opinions? One guy give him credit, I think it was Jimmy in One Wrestling Network or whatever on Facebook, a good group by Frank, and Jimmy was talking about this Finn Balor thing. I still got to listen to his whole thing, but he was basically trying to put over how they can salvage or do something good with Finn Balor. So I respect Jimmy for doing that, for putting the time and effort into it. I still have to watch his whole tape. It was a little delayed, blah, blah, blah. But, look, I think people are kind of forgetting that Bob fucking Holly had a match with fucking Brock Lesnar. I'm literally cold here, folks. That's why I'm stuttering like a fuck. But Brock Lesnar just jobbed out Bob Holly in 2004. So I don't really see it's probably going to be a better match than that. It's probably going to be about the quality of an AJ Styles Brock Lesnar Survivor Series match or whatever the fuck. But I think you're going to have your traditional, oh my God, can this underdog beat Brock? Oh, I guess he didn't type of match. I mean, it's just going to be another thing where at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar's going to hit him with a chair and an F5, and that's the match. And then they'll give him a standing O to fucking Finn. Oh, he was so close and all that shit. It is, it was only, 3 years ago that they started this Universal title, 3 or 4 years ago. And it's hard now to even think of Finn Balor having that championship. He was the first champion, obviously had it for a day because of the injury. But it's just he's been diminished. He's jobbed to Kane on Raw. They make him look like just a goofball. And I'll be honest, I never was really watching New Japan when Finn Balor and the Bullet Club were doing all their hijinks and hoopla. I did hear about it and the Demon and all that crap, but I wasn't into it. And honestly, what has he shown me? As a main roster fan. Okay, I'll come clean. I'm not sitting there watching NXT every goddamn week. I'm watching fucking what I want to watch, and as a main roster fucking fan, I'm just seeing a guy lose quite a bit, and he's not getting over, and he's looking silly and doing things with Bailey. So who gives a fuck? That's from a cynical, jagged asshole like myself. You might be a big Finn Balor fan and say, oh, but he did this in Japan. And, if they only used him like they used him in NXT. Well, they don't use him in fucking NXT like they did then because he's not there anymore. So for the mainstream fucks like myself, Finn Balor's a guy who wrestles The Miz. Finn Balor's a guy who wrestles Dolph Ziggler. He's a great talent, but he's kind of in Dolph Ziggler mode, which is mediocre. Mediocre is when you're over with the fans, but not in the office. Anyway, we're hitting the 15 fucking minute mark, folks. I'm going to call this a goddamn wrap. MikeMessier.com for all your Mike Messier needs, wants, and desires. MikeMessier.com. I went to see a movie tonight. I didn't watch Raw, and I suggest you stop watching Raw.